You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not broken.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
The mind is a fragile thing. Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction.
This is the end.
Charles, what did you do?
I had to keep her stable. I protected her.
From the truth? There's another word for that.
I came looking for answers.
You feel like you don't belong here. You don't. They can't begin to comprehend what you are.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for permission. Jean. She's all rage, pain, and it's all coming out at once.
Jean lost control, but she's still our friend.
This is your fault, Charles.
The world is on the brink. I'm sorry I didn't stop it sooner.
You're always sorry, Charles, and there's always a speech, and nobody cares.
There's still hope. Don't do this.
They're right to fear me.
I've seen evil. And I'm looking at it now.
Hey everybody, we finally got the official Dark Phoenix trailer. It's time to break it down. You probably recognized a whole bunch of stuff there from the comics or from X-Men the animated series, but I'll try to explain what's going on, especially with the main villain being played by Jessica Chastain. There's a new round of that Spider-Man PS4 giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. What it seems like based on the footage is they're doing the Dark Phoenix saga from the comics minus some of the Shi'ar Empire space-based story. So I don't think that Jessica Chastain is playing Lilandra like I initially suspected when they first cast her. The Shi'ar Empire part of the story was such a big part of all the previous retellings of the comic book stories, so it was just kind of taken on faith that they would incorporate that. But this seems a little more grounded, more about Jean versus the X-Men, her hurting all of her friends, which is a big part of that comic book story. So you start out with the flashback to her initially coming to the X-Men. They said you could help me, and it sounds like based on his conversation with Mystique, Professor X messed with Jean's mind so that she wouldn't remember accidentally killing her family when her powers manifested. The whole thing with Jean Grey is that even without the Phoenix Force, she's an Omega level mutant, so she was powerful before she was ever infused with that. You see later in the trailer, they go into outer space. That's when she's hit with the Phoenix Force. They make a very Fantastic Four type of cosmic radiation description, like she's hit with a mysterious force of energy while they're in outer space. That's the Phoenix Force jumping into her body. You see her infused with it, but you kind of got a taste for that during X-Men Apocalypse, so I don't know how they're going to explain them going into outer space in relative continuity. Because you see them wearing these new X-Men uniforms from the comics, and the timeline for X-Men Apocalypse wouldn't totally make sense if they do this. She turned into the Phoenix, then they went into outer space. So we'll just have to wait for more footage to explain the timeline. But the way they pose this here is like you see Beast examining her, and then later you see him with Magneto and the other people from Genosha. That's right, they're doing the island of Genosha. It looks kind of like a hippie commune right now, like he's just created it. And it's meant to take the place of the Hellfire Club in the comics. So I'll explain that in a second. But you see Beast with her here, he probably sympathizes with her, then sort of jumps sides when he finds out what Professor X is planning on doing to subdue her later in the timeline when she gets really crazy. So they're doing a little bit of X-Men schism in addition to Jean Grey going full Phoenix and hurting some of her friends. I love the look on Magneto's face when she walks up. He's just like, what the hell? What are you doing here? He probably realizes how powerful she is. Then later in the trailer, when she starts to go super dark, you see her start destroying those military helicopters, probably because she just wanted to protect everyone here and just sort of gave in to the darkness within her. Like earlier in the trailer, Professor X is talking about how a balanced mind can swing one way or the other just depending on triggers. So we'll see what the actual thing that triggers her is, but it might just be the military coming to Genosha, gunning people down. The whole thing with Jessica Chastain's character is that a lot of people think that she might be a female gender-bent Mr. Sinister, as in Miss Sinister. He's done that in the past in the comics, and she's the sort of stand-in for the Hellfire Club. The whole thing in the comics is that Emma Frost in the Hellfire Club wanted to co-opt Jean Grey and turn her evil. So eventually they were able to mess with her mind. For a little while at least, Jean Grey became the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club. So this could be that version, but I don't know that the Hellfire Club itself is an actual part of the movie. So this could just be, say, Mrs. Sinister or a different version of Emma Frost just trying to twist Jean Grey evil for her own purposes. Hard to tell if this is before or after Jean Grey goes to Genosha because she's wearing the same jacket. But this might be when she does something really messed up, the X-Men try to stop her, and she thinks that there's nothing to be done about it, so she just wants to go off into the wilderness and hang out on this island where she doesn't think that she can hurt anybody. Then you have that slow montage of her just completely losing her shit and the X-Men slowly breaking apart because of what's going on. Like, you can understand that Professor X does something to mess with her mind to prevent her from going full Phoenix, so not all the X-Men are on board for that. Like, Beast here seems like he's at odds, which is probably why he's standing with Magneto later in the trailer. This shot of him inside Cerebro getting the full psychic blast of the Phoenix Force is him probably trying to figure out what happened to Jean on the spacecraft. Like when she was hit with that special radiation, they're examining her inside the medical bay. This is him probably trying to do the instant replay inside her mind. So he looks inside her and all he sees is just fire reaching out at him. Obviously, they're playing that cover of The Doors, This Is the End, and then you see them standing over that grave. One of the other X-Men probably gets killed accidentally by something that Jean Grey does, and that's what causes her to want to leave to go to Genosha. Totally digging all these shots of Magneto. If you haven't seen it, there were some behind-the-scenes pictures of him playing chess with Professor X. It's just a reference to them beginning the chess game that they played during the Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen X-Men movies. This shot of her is probably about as close as we get to her with full Phoenix Force, but obviously it's going to look a little crazier because you look at these mock-up shots that they released earlier this year. This is what she'll look like when the Phoenix has fully taken over her mind. So it'll be interesting to see how they conclude this, because the comic book version was Jean Grey realizing that the only way to save everyone was to kill herself. So because, if you guys didn't know, this is like the swan song for Fox X-Men movies before they go back to Marvel. So I don't know how they're going to try and bookend all the Fox X-Men films, or if this is going to be more self-contained, but the fact that they use that door song, This Is the End, is important for the Phoenix storyline, but also in a really meta way for the X-Men characters at Fox in the movies. Like, this is the end for Fox's X-Men movies. Well, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this? Obviously, it looks way more grounded than the comic book version or even from the 90s animated series. They did Dark Phoenix Saga in 5 episodes, so I don't know where that's streaming, but you can actually probably go find that right now. So the movie's coming out at the beginning of February, meaning that we'll probably get a whole bunch more footage before the end of the year, and we can try to figure out a little bit more about what's going on with their timeline and who Jessica Chastain is playing exactly. The Real Seabass, congratulations, you're the giveaway winner from my last big video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Click here to learn all about brand new Iron Man armor during Avengers 4, and click here to learn all about black costume during Spider-Man Far From Home. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.